In this video, we'll discuss how the features on your face point to the types of sexual rhythms to explore in your personal life for overall health and fulfillment. Enjoy. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the facial features, the 5-element facial features that you can identify on your face, and then what that means for your sexual rhythms in the bedroom. So this video is going to piggyback off of last week's video, and if you haven't watched that video, I encourage you to go up here and watch that. And that video talked about the 5-element facial features on someone's face in relation to the style of exercise that is most optimal for you. So this video is going to behave the same way. I'm going to talk about the fire, earth, metal, water, wood features on the face, and then what that means for your sexual activities in the bedroom. So the basic overriding idea here with sex, according to Eastern theory, is that sexual energy is very closely aligned with our life force. Why? Because it's how we propagate and proliferate and continue the human race moving forward. So the act of procreation and the act of sex is quite literally life replicating and life producing. Therefore, it's a big piece of how we stay healthy and vital. The other metric to think about is if a person is able to engage in healthy sexual activity, the body is usually working pretty well. So it's also a sign for a larger health metric. So all of those things being said, let's jump right into it. So as I mentioned before in last week's video, the fire features, the things you can be looking for, are pointy features of any kind. So where we see any sharp points in the eyebrows, points in the inner and outer canthus of the eyes, a pointy nose, pointy ears, pointy chin, the Cupid's bow, anywhere we see sharp angularity is going to be fire related. And then also when we see dominant wrinkling when a person smiles. So if you carry those features, the things to be looking at in terms of fire sexual rhythms are going to be things like flirting, biting, role-playing, dirty talk, dressing up, variety of place and position, and usually the fire people will orgasm quickly and easily, and they can usually orgasm more than once. That's including men and women. So that's sort of like the spectrum if you carry those features to explore. Now the next one is earth features. So earth features are plump features. You want to think supple and squishy, in particular a full mouth. So if we see a full lower lip, a full upper lip, or both lips are full and the mouth is dominant, this is all pointing towards earth metrics. Now the earth sexual rhythms are going to be things like cuddling, affection, essentially a person who is a giver in the bedroom, predictable sex also. So consistency of position, time, and place. And usually the earth featured people are okay with not orgasming as long as their partner does. So those are the earth rhythms to think about. Metal features. So metal features are going to be clean, broad, open features. This is where a person has a lot of open space with not a lot of interruption, not many wrinkles, and there's sort of like a shiny quality to the face. Now, metal sex has to do with seduction with words. They like subtle touch. They also like to train their partners. They actually kind of get off on that. And so they like consistency of speed and tempo during the sexual act as well. And self and mutual masturbation falls into the metal element category. So metal featured people will also typically, they'll fantasize about their own partner, and they will orgasm easily if all of their personal parameters are met. It's sort of like, if you fill this box the right way, I'm going to fire. So that's the metal rhythms to think about. Now, water features. We're looking at soft features. This is where they say the face sort of has a soft countenance. They look at peace, they look calm. But you're also going to see typically a big, broad, dominant forehead. They will have fleshy earlobes or large ears. So if you see those things, those are dominant on your face, you're going to be wanting to look at the water sexual rhythms. And that's things like kissing, licking, anything relating to oral sex, caressing, skin-to-skin contact. And typically the water featured people are going to be the longest to orgasm, but when they do orgasm, they orgasm hard. Wood is the last one. So wood features are sharp chiseled jaw, big bushy dominant eyebrows, and a dominant brow bone. And any feature that looks chiseled. When people just have sharp, angular, chiseled features and their face just looks kind of sharp and angular, there's definitely going to be some wood metrics. And so with that, we're going to see athletic sex. We're going to see dangerous sex and things like someone liking being dominated, or that goes both ways, vice versa. You like to dominate or be dominated. Also risky sex, the Mile High Club people, things like BDSM, rough sex, people that like to be choked and that kind of thing. That's all going to be wood metrics. And the wood featured people usually orgasm easily and have the capacity for the most lasting power in bed. So that's a very quick breakdown. Of course, there is nuance. And the thing to not get hung up on here with 5 element features in the face is we all carry the 5 elements. Everybody carries them. So you're not going to be all of one typically. Maybe you are. There's exceptions to the rule. But a lot of times there's going to be some variety. You might be 60% wood and then the rest of the elements kind of fill in the other 40%. You have to explore. But the way to think about face reading is if I've talked about these things, say you carry certain features and you're like, I've never really done that, or I don't know if I would like that. Your facial features are saying, hey, maybe jump into that world, because the idea is if you are having a healthy and vibrant sex life, this is life nourishing. This is what's going to bring the vitality metrics up. So it's a pretty key component in terms of living well. So again, there's lots of nuance to this, but feel free to ask questions and comment down below. And as always, thanks for your time.